Ancient diseases. What did people suffer from thousands of years ago? Introduction. Diseases as humanity's eternal companion. When we think of ancient humans, we often imagine strong and resilient hunters who endured the harshness of nature. However, our ancestors faced diseases just as often as we do today. Without medicine, hospitals, or modern hygiene, even a small infection could turn deadly. How do scientists uncover the diseases of people who lived tens of thousands of years ago? What illnesses plagued humanity in prehistoric times? And which of these diseases still affect us today? Let's explore. 1. How scientists study ancient diseases. Understanding the health conditions of people who lived thousands of years ago is challenging, but modern science provides several methods. Bone and teeth analysis. Many chronic diseases leave visible marks on bones. Tuberculosis, for example, can deform the spine, while syphilis can damage the skull. Arthritis and fractures also tell stories about the physical hardships of ancient lives. Example, in Israel, scientists discovered a 9,000-year-old skeleton with clear signs of tuberculosis. Example, a Viking-era skull found in Sweden showed evidence of dental abscesses, likely caused by poor hygiene and malnutrition. Ancient DNA studies. By extracting DNA from ancient remains, researchers can identify viruses and bacteria that once infected humans. Example, in 2018, scientists found DNA traces of the bubonic plague in the teeth of people who lived 4,500 years ago, proving that plagues existed long before written history. Example, the oldest known hepatitis B virus was discovered in 7,000-year-old remains, showing that viral infections have afflicted humans for millennia. Coprolite analysis, fossilized feces. Ancient feces contain traces of parasites, gut bacteria, and even diet-related health problems. Example, in 9,000-year-old feces found in the United States, researchers discovered evidence of intestinal worms. Example, in South America, prehistoric fecal samples revealed the presence of ancient strains of Giardia, a parasite that still infects millions today. 2. Common diseases of ancient humans. Parasites, worms, fleas, and lice. Lack of hygiene, raw meat consumption, and contaminated water made ancient humans easy targets for parasites. Example, the mummified body of Ötzi the Iceman, 5,300 years old, had traces of intestinal parasites and head lice. Example, Roman latrines contained eggs of roundworms and whipworms, showing that parasitic infections were widespread in ancient civilizations. Tuberculosis. This deadly disease has been around for at least 17,000 years and may have spread to humans from cattle. Example, scientists have found tuberculosis marks on the bones of Neanderthals. Interesting fact, Egyptian mummies have shown clear signs of spinal tuberculosis, proving that the disease was present in ancient societies. Tooth decay and oral diseases. Hunter-gatherers rarely suffered from cavities, but when humans transitioned to farming around 10,000 years ago, their dental health declined due to increased carbohydrate consumption. Example, a 14,000-year-old tooth found in Italy contained evidence of primitive dental fillings. Example, a skull from ancient Mesopotamia revealed advanced periodontal disease, suggesting that gum infections were a major issue even in early civilizations. Fractures, injuries, and arthritis. Life in prehistoric times was physically demanding, leading to frequent injuries and joint wear. Example, Neanderthal skeletons show bone fractures similar to those seen in modern rodeo riders, suggesting they hunted large animals at close range. Example, ancient Egyptian mummies have been found with evidence of amputations and crude prosthetics, suggesting attempts at medical intervention. Interesting fact, a 14,000-year-old skeleton was found with stitch wounds, possibly representing the earliest known example of suturing. Leprosy, syphilis, and other infections. Some diseases spread through close contact, making them common in early human communities. Example, a 4,000-year-old skeleton found in Norway displayed severe bone damage from leprosy. Example, in 1494, syphilis outbreaks in Europe caused widespread panic, but researchers found evidence of similar diseases in 6,000-year-old skeletons in South America. Ancient epidemics. Though plagues are often associated with crowded cities, evidence suggests that mass outbreaks of disease occurred even in prehistoric societies. Example, the DNA of the herpes virus was found in 5,000-year-old human remains, showing that it spread widely as human populations grew and migrated. Example, skeletons from a 5,000-year-old mass grave in Sweden showed signs of a deadly pandemic, possibly caused by an ancient strain of the plague bacterium Yersinia pestis. 3. How did ancient people treat diseases? Herbal medicine. Early humans likely relied on medicinal plants and shamanistic healing rituals. Example, in Iraq, a 60,000-year-old burial site contained pollen from yarrow, a plant known for its medicinal properties. Example, in China, texts from 2,000 years ago describe the use of ginseng and ginger for treating ailments, some of which are still used in traditional medicine today. Trepanation, skull surgery. In many ancient societies, people drilled holes in skulls possibly to treat headaches, epilepsy, or mental disorders. Example, in Peru, archaeologists found skulls with trepanation holes that had healed, suggesting that patients survived these operations. Interesting fact, over 1,500 trepan skulls have been discovered from various ancient cultures, proving that this practice was widespread. Burning and cauterization. Some ancient remains show evidence of wounds being burned shut, possibly to stop infections. Interesting fact, in ancient China, people used burning mugwort leaves, a practice known as moxibustion, to treat various ailments. Example, Roman military doctors used heated metal instruments to cauterize wounds, preventing infections in soldiers. 4. What ancient diseases still affect us today? Some ancient illnesses never disappeared and continue to plague humanity. Herpes has existed for over 50,000 years. Neanderthal genes influence modern immune responses. Heart disease was found even in mummified Egyptian pharaohs. Example, genetic studies show that some modern mutations, such as those related to diabetes, might have helped ancient humans survive in times of famine. Interesting fact, the plague, which wiped out millions in history, first appeared in Europe around 4,500 years ago. Example, malaria, one of the deadliest diseases in human history, has been traced back 8,000 years in African populations. Conclusion: our ancestors suffered from many of the same diseases we face today. Studying ancient illnesses not only helps us understand human history but also provides insights into the future of medicine and public health. Many of these conditions, whether infections, parasites, or genetic predispositions, have shaped human evolution. Knowing more about them allows us to appreciate how far medicine has come and how much we still have to learn. What do you think was the most terrifying ancient disease? Let us know.